the state of the nation.
Small and medium enterprises form part of the backbone of our nation's economy. SMEs are found everywhere from China and India in the East to the Americas. But just how important is the small business to the Zimbabwean economy? Let's take a look at the numbers. 76%. That's the percentage of workers in Zimbabwe working in the informal sector. Basically, the informal sector is the country's biggest employer. This is according to Zimstat. 60% of the economy is informal. In other words, the biggest part of our economy is made up of self-employed people. That mother at the corner selling veggies, that guy who makes sofas at the Glenview Home Industries Complex, the hard-working people at Magaba Siaso in Bare, the farmers and traders in Baremsika, Sakuva, Renkini, Kudzanai, all over the country. These are the people who form the backbone of the economy. This is why there has been increased focus by the government on the SME sector over recent years. SMEs are drivers of economic growth and development the world over. They are the most innovative sector. They contribute towards the economic well-being of a country through the provision of goods, services, job creation, and contributing revenue for the fiscus. So what should be done to assist them, and what do those in the SME sector themselves really need? How can the economy benefit from SMEs, and how can SMEs themselves grow? First, let's deal with the tricky part, taxes. Nobody wants them, but we all need them. Here's something to think about. The informal sector controls over 60% of the economy. But what percentage of taxes does it contribute? Just 1%. In South Africa, small enterprises contribute around 34% of GDP, employing between 50 and 60% of South Africa's workforce. In Kenya, 3%. Botswana SMEs contribute 35% of their GDP and contribute 75% to formal sector employment. So how has government responded? They introduced the SME auction system. Has this helped? Yes. So has the demand for it increased over the year. Secondly, they have proposed some taxes to raise money from SMEs. Zimra has set up a special unit that will deal with the needs of SMEs in terms of paying taxes. This is a good idea. Taxing the informal sector has to be a full-time job for someone. What needs to be seen is a balance. Everyone must pay taxes, but these taxes should not punish small businesses and traders. What will these taxes do? Most people in the informal sector will need to pay what is called presumptive tax. Under the 2021 budget, money from these taxes will be directed towards the development of SMEs. Some of the money will go to the Small and Medium Enterprises Development Corporation. This is an organization meant to develop SMEs. It would be great if there was more output from there. And this brings us to the main question today. What is it that the SMEs really need? Number one, they need funding. Like every business, people running SMEs want access to capital. They don't want to be SMEs forever. Do the local banks have special packages that are tailor-made? The needs of small businesses are different from the needs of big business. So the financial packages designed for SMEs need to deal squarely with that reality. In April 2021, the RBZ set aside 500 million Zimbabwe dollars to fund SMEs in the production sector. That's a good seed, but there needs to be more targeted lending for small businesses. Currently, banks are charging high interest rates on loans and overdrafts in order to stay afloat and to hedge themselves from risk. Why, do you ask? Here's the breakdown. A local bank accesses funding from their activities from either its investors or other international banks. So when a bank in Zimbabwe gets funds from another bank in, say, South Africa, the bank in SA will look at what cost it will put on its funds that are being sent to Zimbabwe. Secondly, the SA bank will determine what the current risk of lending to the Zimbabwean bank is given the current environment. These two factors then determine the interest rate that will be charged to the bank in Zimbabwe. The challenge our SMEs have in this regard is whatever money is available to borrow or to apply for as a loan has a very high risk premium, as Zimbabwe is considered a high risk country for investments. Hence, borrowing is expensive. Better places to work. How many times have we seen this headline? Fire guts Glenview complex. This seems to happen every year at that place. It is home to thousands of people who make some of the furniture that ends up in homes all across the country. But the people making our furniture are not working in safe places. business, it means one thing: those in charge are not doing enough to create viable, safe working spaces for SMEs. A few years ago, the city of Harare built stores on Simon Mazorodze Road. They seem to be lying idle. Why? This is the same thing with Mbudzi People's Market. It's underutilized. Again, why? It's because those who are supposed to use these spaces are not included in the planning process. If we have learned anything from COVID, it is that we need markets that can safely stay open when there's an outbreak or pandemic. Did you know, in 2020, less than 20% of small businesses in Zimbabwe were able to operate at normal capacity during lockdown? That's according to the World Bank. That's bad news because most Zimbabweans rely on trading for their livelihoods. So what should happen? Modern markets are needed. Markets that have more space for social distancing, markets that have running water, and other essentials. Look at the old mutual SME market in central Harare. A similar trend where creative hubs are popping up is providing space and market for the creative sector. We need more of these, and we need them to be more affordable. Here's some good news. Some of the new SME taxes are being channeled to a partnership with the Infrastructure Development Bank of Zimbabwe. This will go towards building new infrastructure for SMEs. Number 4, financial literacy and inclusion. For many years, banks have refused to deal with small traders. In turn, traders trust their mattresses more than they do their banks. What is needed now is a new type of banker that bridges this divide. There is a need for banking services that meet the needs of the informal sector. The success of mobile money showed us this. Enhancement in financial literacy skills is necessary among those in SMEs. The whole world is waking up to the importance of SMEs. In Africa, small businesses have the potential to contribute over $2 trillion combined to the GDP under the Africa Continental Free Trade Area. Small businesses, family business, and innovators like SEP and many others can no longer be ignored. An efficient tax system that works for SMEs is needed just as much as access to capital, stable currency, affordable interest rates on loans, better, safer working spaces, and financial literacy. But let's not leave this to government. Our private equity funds, angel investors, hedge funds can help boost this industry. Some are helping and partnering with startups to grow industries. SMEs need to be included in the formal economy. Nobody should be left behind. Like, comment, share, and subscribe.